Good afternoon. Welcome back to my home, my kitchen, and my heart. You're visiting Fats Where the Flavor's At. We've got some friends here at the table with us. Today, we're going to make a little steak pizzaiola, the Italian favorite without a doubt. So let's get right into it. I've got my steaks. I decided to use New York strip. There are a variety of different cuts of meat you could use for steak pizzaiola. I just am a big fan of the sirloin strip. Typically, or I guess classically speaking, steak pizzaiola is relatively not much more than the steak, the tomato sauce, some fresh oregano, and even the mozzarella cheese is optional. You can, however, and I choose to, add a few other things to the dish that I just find to be very, very complimentary to it and help create something more of a full-flavored and delicious, delicious sauce to go with the steak. So, that said, we're going to also introduce mushrooms, onions, sweet and hot cherry peppers, and of course some garlic. And we will top our steak off with a little mozzarella cheese. So let's start off. I've got my strip steak, which I've actually cut crosswise. So I want them a little thinner. I don't want a thick steak. I'm going to give my meat a gentle pounding here to give the references that might go with that. But just a little extra tenderizing of the meat. Flip them over. Hit the other side. I don't want your steak to be too thick for this dish. You want to create something that's going to be very tender. And that is all you need to do. Take that off. Lose that. I've got my salt. Always season your meat. A little fresh ground black pepper. While this is going on, I've got my pan getting hot. I'll flip it around. And I'll do the same thing. Salt and pepper. And into the hot skillet it goes. That's the sound you want to hear. A nice sizzle. And what you'll do here is you're going to cook your steak probably about 2.5 to 3 minutes on each side. Then we'll take it out and we're going to create the sauce that's going to make this steak pizzaiola. So come back in a couple of minutes and we'll pick this up from there. All right, the steaks have cooked. We've got a nice little sear on both sides. We're going to go ahead and remove them from the pan. We'll just set them off into this little aluminum pan for now. And we're going to start creating what I think of as a great pizzaiola sauce. It's going to start with mushrooms. I absolutely love mushrooms with steak. We'll get those cooking for a little bit. We're going to turn the heat up a little bit. Got some nice little flavor bits from the steak in there. Whoops, get back in there. Get back in there, son of a gun. There we go. All right, so after we get a little bit of cook going on that, we can go ahead and add the onions, the garlic, and then again, I have a nice little sliced up cherry peppers, both sweet and hot. And again, this is all gonna lend great flavor, depth of flavor, and complexity to the dish. So we'll throw that all in. It's the hot cherry peppers, absolutely love. A little bit of heat in almost anything I make. I'd like a little bit of heat. And we'll get that sauteing. Mushrooms cook down to a little bit smaller. The onions will cook down and sweat, and just again impart its wonderful sweetness and flavor to the dish. A lot of times people will ask or tell you to use yellow onion. I think I use Vidalia or sweet onions in everything I make. I just like, as I said, just that little hint of sweetness that it provides. All right. Whoop. Oh, get out of there. From here, we're going to hit it with a little white wine. Even though we're going to serve red with the dish, we're going to still hit this with a white wine. All right. And we'll let the vegetables cook into there for a little while. We'll let the wine cook off its alcohol, reduce down, get all the flavor bits off the bottom of the pan. Once that reduces down, you can go ahead and add your tomatoes. Now, typically, or classically again, take your 20-ounce can of San Marzano DOP tomatoes and puree them. I had a lot of Sunday gravy that I've had accumulating over the last couple of cooking shows. So I actually have a nice pureed version of my Sunday gravy. Again, a little bit more depth of flavor, a little bit more complexity. But again, just a wonderful can of tomatoes pureed would be a perfect complement to creating this dish. So we'll get that going. It's just about ready to add the tomatoes. Incorporate that all in. We'll mix that up nicely. We'll let that cook down. All right, and since steak pizzaiola is literally a translation of cooking steak in the fashion of pizza, a very important flavor element to any pizza is oregano. So I've got some wonderful fresh oregano here that I'm going to add to the dish. Just sprinkle that in nicely. And we'll stir that in nicely. So you've got your mushrooms, your onions, your sweet and hot peppers, your oregano, your tomatoes. So this would be the kind of, if I was ordering a pizza, I would do it with mushrooms and peppers. That's one of my, and onions is one of my favorite pizzas. I'll let that cook off a little bit. That'll start to reduce. While that's happening though, we can go ahead and put our steaks right back in the sauce. Don't let any of that wonderful steak juice go to waste. Throw that right in there. And we'll just let that cook down. This will cook for about 15 or 20 minutes. Depending on how tender you want this meat to be. I mean, I have cooked this down much like I cook my pork and my sausages when I'm making Sunday gravy to an hour and a half, 2 hours, and it's fork ready. You don't even need a knife to cut it. But we're not going to take that much of your time today. So what we'll do is we'll just, again, work this into the sauce. We'll let this cook for a good 15 or 20 minutes. After that's done, we're going to throw a little cheese on top, because what is pizza without cheese? We'll let the cheese melt on the steak and we'll be ready to serve it. Come back in about 15, 20 minutes and we'll show off how we plate this dish up. See you soon. Hey, we're back, and our steak pizzaiola is just where we want it to be. You can see the sauce is thickened up nicely. I've gone ahead and melted the mozzarella cheese on top. I hit it with a little fresh oregano and a little basil and flat leaf parsley dried. So we'll go ahead and we will take these steaks off the pan. They should be nice and tender. We'll set them up here. We'll do that like that. So I've got all that wonderful sauce. You can smell the peppers, you can smell the mushrooms. I just love what's going on in that pan. We'll go ahead and we'll slice the meat up. Like butter, it cuts. And we'll go ahead and we'll plate up. A couple of nice pieces for my guests. Center cut for my guests, always. Cheese. Go ahead. We're going to go ahead and add a little of the wonderful sauce. Peppers, the mushrooms, the onions, the garlic, the tomatoes, all creating a delicious, delicious flavor. Complement the beef, and we shall serve. Oh, you're welcome. You like it? Senor? Bon appetito. All right. And that, my friends, is steak pizzaiola. I'll let you guys go ahead and start eating it. But while you guys enjoy, talk about the wine. We pick up a lot of earthy flavors with the mushroom, the beef itself, the peppers, the onions, the garlic, the tomatoes. So I chose something that really spoke well to the earthiness of the food. And it's a very earthy and very fruit-flavored forward wine in Farmers of Wine Red Blend. It's a certified organic blend of Negro Amaro and Primitivo from southern Italy in Apulia. Again, a nice balance of fruit and earthiness and good acidity. Should all speak very, very well to the flavors that are going on in the dish. So, how's the dish? Tasty? Steak tender enough? Everything works? All right. All right. So we'll close with a raising of the glass and a very, very sincere and heartfelt thank you to everyone that's out there watching. Looking forward to cooking for you again real soon. I want to point out my little cutting board there, since steak was part of the menu today. Essential Milestones. So my friend Rosario Coppola, check out his website, check out his Facebook page, Essential Milestones. Have something special made for somebody you love for the holiday season. To the two of you, to my beautiful bride, to you, Kevin, for all your wonderful, wonderful efforts and work and help in putting this together. Salute. God bless. And don't forget the name of the show, which is what? That's where the flavors are. See you guys next time. Thank you. Ciao.